All right, welcome everybody to another call for Niche Site Project 2. I've got Perrin on the line here with us. Perrin, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Thank you. How's it going, everybody?
Awesome. Yep, I'm sure everybody's excited for another week. This is going to be a good one because we're going to finally reveal your domain to everybody.
Yes, yes, we are.
So let's quickly just take a look at the assignments that you had from last week. And then basically what I want to do is just jump right over to your site. We're going to show it to everybody, show what you've been working on, and, just kind of walk through the entire site itself and maybe even look at the back end. So here's the assignments that I had. You were to finish the homepage article, find 15 additional keywords, install plugins, pick a theme, and work on a logo or header design. So let's maybe quickly review those assignments. How did it go?
Those assignments went really well. The second homepage article, which was the article for the actual homepage of the site, so not the keyword that we're targeting at first, but the Lofter Higher Competition article that we decided to go for as part of our strategy.
Right.
I finished that article pretty quickly. It was, I found some downtime on the weekend and knocked it out. The keyword research went really well. I wasn't concerning myself as much with e-commerce sites, but mostly just trying to find stuff that was super low competition. So took your recommendation of looking in the 200 to 1,000 word keyword, search volume range, and found tons of stuff, which was really great. So I found 15 solid ones and then marked a bunch of other ones and ended up with a list of about 50 keywords that I feel like I can use.
Nice.
And I still think there's more out there. I really feel like, and none of those, or very few of those rather, are specific product keywords. Some of them overlap, so like keywords that are really similar that wouldn't make sense to write two articles might go together. So in the end, from that list, I think I can get 30 good keywords. But I think there's a lot more in the niche. But it was really easy. I mean, like, I found 15. There are obviously more. I was already in Longtail Pro, so I just stuck them in my favorites and then exported the spreadsheet.
Nice. Yeah. No, the secondary keywords really are a lot easier because of the lower search volume. There's just a ton more low competition keywords in that range. So, no, that's good.
Yeah, and it was a good mix too. Like I found, 5 or 6 more high quality, like best keywords, like best X, keywords. So I was able to make tables with those articles and write really good content for those. So
nice. Really good. And yeah, and we can talk about, plugins and theme, but basically bottom line is you got all that done. And I think let's just jump right over to the site. People have been in suspense for a few weeks now. We didn't reveal our primary keyword or secondary keyword or the domain, so let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so I've already got your site all pulled up, and I'll pull it up and let you maybe explain everything. How's that sound?
yeah, for sure. I'll kind of go through some of the things that I think are worth talking about and take a look at the whole thing. So there, man, I'm so nervous. Everybody's going to see my work now.
There it is. It's
there
live for everyone to see. Maybe I'll drag this so they can actually see the domain.
Yep. So that's the domain, apennyshaved.com. Everybody link to it. Quick.
I love the domain, by the way.
Yeah, we went through a bunch of funny, weird names, and in the end, you just kind of have to settle on one. And it was, it's something that, is like catchy, kind of, and I think people are hopefully think it's like quirky enough to remember. But there wasn't too much thought that went into it.
Yep, no, but it's definitely more brandable than keyword. It's not full of your keywords, but it's a good brandable domain. So now that we see the site at pennyshave.com, people of course can check that out. Walk us through both the primary, the maybe the best keyword that you found, and then the homepage keyword here.
Sure, and before I do, I should give a shout out to my friend Susie Williams who did the logo, um, which I'm really happy with. We're talking about doing a few different things with it, but um, I should just say thanks for sure, because she's doing that as a favor to me, which is nice. Save me a little bit of money, and she's a professional designer, so
Yeah, no, it looks good. I love it.
um, yeah. So I guess since we're already on the homepage, this is the big keyword that we found. Um, which
Right.
was best electric shaver.
Yep.
So
Right
this is
there.
a higher competition keyword. It was something like the keyword competitiveness was 42 or something. The search volume was 14,000 around there.
Hmm.
Um, so and the good thing about this keyword is that there are a couple niche sites. They're just very established niche sites with lots of links. So this is doable. It would just take a lot of time. Um, but in the niche, in the shaving niche, there are remarkably few keywords between like 2,000 and 10,000. Like there's just, it's really hard to come by
Hmm.
good keywords in that range, you know?
Right.
So, and there's this huge jump um, between this keyword, best electric shaver, and then the other, high quality keywords that I was finding. So this is the one we decided to target. Again, it's much higher competition than you would normally go for, but
Hmm.
hopefully, as the site starts to grow and pick up a little bit of steam, then we rank for it. And if we rank for it, that's awesome. If we don't, then we don't. But it's good thing to go for. But this is the structure more or less of any best X keyword. Best electric shaver. There's a little bit of an introduction,
Hmm.
um, a table with all the research, and
So you've
a,
got how many? Looks like 10 or so.
yeah, for all the tables, I try to do between 10 and 15.
Yep.
Just for variety. I really tried to leave off products that didn't seem good, that people really didn't like,
Hmm.
just because I wasn't trying to fill up space. I was really trying to provide lots of value. So, um,
And then you've got some more explanation types of electric razors, a nice YouTube video, and then your top five pick of the razors. I really love the layout of the article. I have nothing to, suggest that you do different. I think it's well done. It's written well, and gives people that are searching for this keyword really what they want in the first place.
yeah, thank you. I think when I was doing this one and the first one, there were only like really a couple decisions because I was using your site and method as a guide, and
Hmm.
there are only a couple things that I really did differently. Um, One was linking all of the images to Amazon. So anytime anybody clicks on an image, it will go to that product's Amazon page.
There it
Um,
is.
because and I that was kind of on a whim, an idea I had because I click on pictures all the time. They're
Hmm.
just a highly clickable thing for me, and I figured people might do the same. So
Yeah, no, and that's certainly good. And I've changed my site so that my images now do link to Amazon as well
oh, okay.
on my survival site. So that is excellent.
Um, and then the other thing I did was put a video in, which I haven't seen on
Yes.
Best Survival Knife, but I'm not sure if you have one or not. But
No.
um, and we talked about this a little bit, and videos are kind of weird because most of the time you find a YouTube video about any kind of product that's going to be promoting somebody else's site,
Hmm.
but in the end, my decision was, and tell me what you think about it. My decision was that it provides a lot of value for relatively little effort. All I have to do is embed the code, in the website, and it can reduce bounce rates. So like
Definitely.
people are coming here to learn about electric razors. It's just very little effort to help them do that really well. So
Yeah, I think so. Keeps them on the site a little bit longer, which is great. So overall, it helps improve the quality, I think. So that's the primary article. The main keyword that you found that we were really excited about was, am I clicking on the right
was
one here?
yeah,
So you've got a whole category here.
yeah,
So best safety razor.
best safety razor. Yep. So the title I went with for this one was "What's the best safety razor?" Um, Mostly because I'm just throwing the dice on the Hummingbird update. That was geared towards like conversational keywords and stuff.
Right.
But I had a couple other options I was thinking about too because best safety razors um, is like the plural also has like 200 searches or something a month. So, but in the end, this was really fun to write about. Safety razors are a cool little community. People really love their safety razors. And safety razors, if you don't know, are kind of like an old-timey thing. They were invented in the 1800s. They usually come apart in three pieces. They're usually made of steel or chrome. Um, and you're shaving with an actual razor blade. It's a wet shaving razor, so you're putting usually like shaving soap um, in a shaving mug, and you're mixing it up with a badger hair brush, and you're wiping it on
Mm-hmm.
your face. So it's this whole involved process in which shaving is really like way more of a hobby than an actual thing that you need to do.
Right.
Um, and the craftsmanship is just amazing for some of these. And they're like really fine pieces of metal work. So, and I think when I was writing this, when I first started, I was talking to you, and I was like, man, this really makes me want to like get one of these and shave because it just looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so one of the things, so a couple of the things we liked about this keyword, I guess, before we look along to a pro, were that it it's rare that you see these in like Walmart or Target or wherever. It's not a very common item in stores, which means people are maybe more likely to buy online. Plus, it's kind of in the mid-price range, around $50 most of the time, 30 to $50, and it's really easily shipped.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there seems to be kind of a community around it, and the shaving niche itself seems to be really big.
Yeah, definitely. And remind me of what the search volume was on this
It's like
one.
1900, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's about right. So, yeah, we really like this keyword because it was low competition. And then for all the other reasons that you just mentioned as well, that, it's just kind of a cool niche. People are very into it. And when they start looking at these things, they're going to want to, shop and compare. And it's something that probably you're going to have to buy online because you just go down to Walmart or Target. They're probably not going to have all of these options for these types of razors. So it's a perfect, online purchase, things like that.
Yep.
All right, so Perrin basically he found this keyword best safety razor, and in one of our previous calls we went over the competition quite in depth. We just didn't reveal the keyword in that particular call, but the primary reasons were that there were a lot of either niche sites or weak types of sites that were ranking at the top of Google. Either forums. I think there was a Squidoo page.
Uh-huh.
Um, and some niche sites that were ranking for this keyword. There was low page links and low page authority overall on at least a few of the results. So overall, it's a very low competition keyword that we believe we can rank for very quickly. So it's not on the home page, but it's the keyword that we're going to focus on right now. But in addition, I can see that you've also done quite a bit of work. You've written, looks like several other articles at this point. So how much content do you have? How many articles have you written right now?
Yeah, so right now, There are 10 articles on the site, um, and a couple of them I spent some more time on, based on what I perceive to be the value. So the best safety razor article is about 2,000 words, which is fairly long. It's 2,000 words before the table, and the table will probably add a couple
Mm.
hundred more words or so.
Yep.
Um, the other article that I spent a lot of time on was the cool beard styles. And I think there might be a good point to be made about content strategy here, as far as like in-article content strategy.
Okay.
So, um, cool beard styles ended up just being really fun to write.
Yeah.
But it was a great keyword. It's like the keyword competitiveness was like 20 or something, and it had a search volume of 880.
Nice.
Um, and obviously, I mean, cool beard styles. That's not about a product, so there were no e-commerce competition at all. So I
For
feel like
sure.
I can get a lot of traffic for this. So um, I have an image not loading there. Um,
Yeah.
but it was also just really fun for me to write. So it ended up being like 1,700 words or something ridiculous like that. Um, so I wrote it, and I mean, I started writing it, and I was like, I really have to. It's Indiana Jones. I really have to figure out a way to get people to Amazon from this. So what I ended up doing was, for each of these beard styles, I did my best to recommend products that would go well with those beard styles. And obviously I don't know about it, but I did as much research as I could.
Gotcha.
So like for a full beard, I wanted to recommend a trimmer that had a really long setting so that you could do it, kind of in one go.
Yeah.
For like the really long ZZ Top type beards, obviously you're not going to need a trimmer, so I tried to recommend like good beard shampoos and things like that based on ratings and forums. So like
Right.
so there was
Sense.
probably way too much research that went into this, but it ended up
Gotcha.
being fun, and I feel like I mean, if someone gets to the point where they're at the end of the article, they're reading about the Garibaldi beard or whatever the name of that one is, um, and they're that interested, I feel like they will trust me enough to take my recommendation and click through to Amazon. So I think the point is that there's even if you run across a keyword, um, that may not look like a buying keyword, there's probably ways to get people to buy. And I'm not saying that this is the best, this might not even work, but you can kind of write yourself into that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think you did an awesome job because there are a lot of keywords out there, like cool beard styles, that are just informational keywords. But if you are smart, like you've done here, you can still recommend products that are based on this particular keyword, even though, yeah, most people aren't going to probably buy a product when they type in this keyword, but
Mhm.
hopefully there will be some percentage of those that will click through and buy something.
Yeah, and like the nice thing about Amazon Associates is that they may not be looking for a beard thing, but they may be interested enough to see like what are the recommended products, and then you have a 24-hour cookie with Amazon. And if they happen to buy anything else,
Exactly. So the one other thing I see on your site that's a little bit different, you've kind of got this cool widget, this recent reviews. What's that all
Mhm.
about?
That was I planned ahead for that. I I really wanted a site um, that appeared kind of dynamic and professional and very consumer oriented. So when I was looking for themes, I was specifically looking for review-based themes, and there are a lot of them out there. One of the most popular ones that seems to work well for a lot of people is called Swag Mag. That was kind of the other one I was going for. This one is called Splash Theme by My Theme Shop. Are the people who makes it? They're really good. I had lots of questions, and their support team is incredibly responsive.
So
Um,
how much was this theme?
$47.
47 bucks. Cool.
Pretty standard, but
Hmm.
um, I bought this one because I prefer really clean styles instead of mucky styles. From a communication standpoint, like as a profession, I really prefer black or gray text on white background and just like very clean cut stuff.
Yep.
Um, but I knew I also wanted some way to be able to review. So one of the features of this theme is that it has a review widget, which is really cool. But if you click on one of the reviews, it also has a cool setup inside the articles. It's like a stylish, nice way to do those reviews.
Yeah.
So you can like add your own categories. You can add pros and cons, which give you length, and it's very easy to write. It's that's like 150 words. That's basically just a summary of whatever you end up writing. And so it's one of those things that I felt just kind of went the extra mile.
Yeah, I think it looks really nice. I think it's great. So that's actually included, this sort of widget is built into the theme then.
It's built into the theme, and there are like a whole kind of genre of themes out there that have very similar functionality.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, generally they should be pretty good choices for review type sites.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna try this. Perrin and I are technical geniuses, and we figured out how to share Perrin's screen while I'm recording on my screen. So we did that so we can look at the back end of WordPress. I mean, I guess you could have shared the login, but I just want to have you kind of take us through the back end, and if I see any settings maybe that need to be changed, we'll do that. But this is also for people that are just building their own site. They might have questions about how you've set things up in the back end, things like that. So maybe just very quickly, let's look at just the plugins that you have installed. Maybe just go to your plugins.
Yeah, for sure. And before, I mean, there were a couple plugins that didn't work, and there's also a few things that are on my to-do list that I know need to be done. So maybe we can go over those too. But
Okay.
okay. So the plugins are Skimit or Aximit.
However you say that. I don't think anybody knows how to actually say that. Ask him. I don't know. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows? That one. I need to maybe pay for that because I've been getting so many spam comments. The all-in-one, the all-in-one SEO pack. Google Analytics.
Yep.
Web Simon tables, which I use just out of preference. I found it slightly less complicated than TablePress, and the style seemed to match my site. There's a couple of drawbacks to it, like you can't sort the rows, but in the end, I ended up not caring that much.
Yeah, no, that's just fine.
Mm-hmm. Yet another related post plugin, and I believe that's it. I had my preferred plugin, which is the one by Yoast, but that was incompatible with the theme, and it was making my theme do funky stuff, so I ended up having to disable it. I'm sure there are some I'm missing.
Yeah, in fact, maybe I can pull up the ones we talked about. At least one that I'm thinking of is an XML sitemap that you can at least create an XML sitemap, but then you can also submit it to Google Webmaster Tools. That just helps improve the crawlability of your site. So I would recommend that. Let me pull up, and I guess it's now recording my screen. You won't be able to see it, but we did a plugin slide that, XML sitemaps was one. Oh, I have a contact form here, but that's not important. If you have another way of, any contact form would do. Dig. So I noticed that you already had social sharing capability on. Did that come with the theme itself?
With the theme. Yeah.
And then there was robots meta that maybe you want to use to no-follow certain pages, but it doesn't look like you've done any of that. The W3 total cache, that can just help with the speed of your site a little bit. So I'd maybe recommend that, but and then a couple others. But we don't necessarily need to dive too deep into that. The one that I definitely would add, there are the two that I would definitely add right away: the XML sitemaps and the W3 total cache.
Okay, and so I just typed that into the new plugins. Is there a particular one that you recommend? Because there's like a million
Yeah,
XML
there
sitemap.
are. I think the one called Google XML Sitemaps, the fourth
Yeah.
one down, I think. Yeah. I think that's the one that I've used. It's just super simple. You basically hit create sitemap and that's it. You never do anything with it again.
Cool. And then
And then the W3 total cache.
this one?
That's the one.
Awesome. And this one creates a cache or a faster cache for your site?
Yeah, it will cache some of the pages just so that they will load quicker
Yeah.
for people visiting your site, multiple times, and overall improve the speed of the site itself. So not as many elements have to load each time, somebody goes to a different page. So that will improve, again, crawlability and things like that.
Can we just add the other two or three that you mentioned? I mean,
Sure.
takes a
Yeah.
couple seconds.
Yeah. The robots meta is one that can come in handy. Just like that, yeah. Yep.
This one? Okay.
Right at the top, yeah.
And this one is good because... why?
So that one will allow you to either, for example, on my survival knife site, one of my pages, I don't allow Google to crawl that page. So you can no follow certain pages. You can make pages either index or no index, or certain links do follow or no follow. It just gives you some options there.
Cool.
And then one more, I guess, is WP Smush It.
All
Yeah.
one word? Okay.
That'll probably work.
Okay.
There it is. Yep.
Sweet.
And that will help reduce the file sizes of your images and things like that.
Oh, cool. That's...
To, again, help things load faster. There's a couple others there. Do you already have a contact form created on your site?
Nope.
I always do, and I always use the contact form 7. So just contact form 7.
Cool.
And that's probably good, as you decide to do other things with the site. Maybe there's other plugins that will help to do that. But basically, that's all there. So if you go to your settings, and there's probably a way to select, down at the bottom, XML sitemap. Let's just do that. I think it says click here to build it for the first time at the top. And once you do that, that's it.
Wow, easy. Awesome.
It's done. And so if you want to submit that to Google Webmaster Tools, which I would recommend, you can basically, where it says your sitemap and the sitemap's underlined, that gives you the actual URL of where your sitemap is. You just input that into Google Webmaster Tools.
Your sitemap, show me.
At the very top, it says your sitemap was last built.
Gotcha.
Yeah, click on the word sitemap. That just opened up there it is. So that's the URL of your sitemap.
And how come all my pages aren't on there?
That's a good question. So it looks like, how many is that? 7?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it.
I don't know. Let's go see what you have published. So maybe go to your posts.
Yeah. You know what I bet it is? Might be a problem. This theme does reviews differently than post. The fancy review thing I was showing you. They are,
Are they pages?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
But but those seem to be the three that are missing.
Hmm.
I may have to
Hmm.
contact.
I am not familiar since I
Yeah,
haven't used this, so we might have to look into that.
yeah, I might have to
So so
contact.
so click on one of those reviews, like go to where it says view, yeah, view, and let's see what that URL looks like. Okay, so it is in like a subfolder. So it is, for some reason, it's not recognizing that as at least the sitemap plugin is not recognizing that. That might be one of your assignments
Yeah.
to look into what's going on, because
Yeah.
I really don't know at this point. What we can do is let's look at your, again, settings,
Okay.
and let's look at, basically we can look at all of those, I guess. Let's go to general.
Okay.
I just like to walk through this. So you've got your site title, a penny shaved, tagline number one, shaving resource, and I can hide your email for everybody
Yeah.
if you want.
Please.
Yeah, I will. So the WordPress address and site address. Okay, now this is something that I always do, and honestly, it makes no difference. But I prefer to put the www dot. That's just what I do. But your site will be just fine if you don't do that. So it's totally up to you.
I might be a rebel on this one, Spencer.
Go for it. No problem. I'm not going to feel bad. Um, so that looks good. Let's go to writing and then reading real quick.
Writing. Okay.
And I guess there's nothing we really need to do there. That looks fine. And reading. Okay, so your front page is the page. What's the best electric shaver? It's a
Yep.
static page.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. And I just wanted to make sure you did not have that search engine visibility box checked, where it says discourage search engines from indexing this site. So definitely don't want to check that box.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, your permalinks, I think, were already set to what they needed to be, where it just is the post name, basically. Yeah. So all the settings look good. The plugins look good. I don't know why the reviews are not showing up on your sitemap, but you might want to look into that.
Yep, I'll get it fixed for sure.
But other than that, is there anything on the back end that you have questions about or think we should look at?
No, there are a couple things that I know I need to do, and
Oh, maybe
those,
the all-in-one SEO.
yeah,
We should look at the settings there.
yeah,
It's the
where,
very top.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I haven't touched this. I just,
Oh, okay.
hmm just installed it and haven't done anything with it.
Okay. So I can go through and tell you what I
Yeah,
do.
yeah, that'd be great.
Um, and these are a little bit different. Okay. Use original title. Hover over the question mark, because what does it do if it doesn't use the original title? Oh. Okay. I would enable it.
Okay.
Um, and then home title, you probably want to include at least your keyword there that's on your home page. You know, and now this home title is the title that will appear in the search engines when people search for your site.
Yeah, okay.
So at least for the home page. So you might want to put a pennyshave.com and then make it something brandable, but then also have your keyword there. And you can come back and change this. Yeah, and then that, and you can maybe even do something a little more descriptive, like best electric shavers reviewed, or you know, you could be more original, like
Yeah.
and for now you don't have to do everything, but that is the title that will show up in the search engines. The home description is also the description that will show up in the search engines. So this is also some marketing tactics that you can use. The home title and the home description are things that you want to entice people to click.
Yeah.
Whatever you can do to get people to click. More interesting or whatever. So we'll give you a chance to think about that. Home keywords, similar thing. You want to include maybe 7 or 8, sort of related keywords there. Electric shavers, shaving, safety razors, all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
And then I usually check the box, use categories for meta keywords. I usually have that checked. And then everything else looks good, I think. And I usually don't do anything else. Just keep scrolling down. Looks good to me. Yeah, and just hit update, and those will be saved. But yeah, that's good for people that may have questions about that. That's hopefully a good exercise. People can see how I would do that, but nothing too fancy there. Just have to think about how to entice people to click through, things like that. And then you were kind of going to another question that you had on either your pages or posts there, I think.
Yeah, I was just gonna see or tell you the things that I know that I still need to do.
Okay.
Those are basically to write titles, meta descriptions, and keywords for all of my posts and reviews. And I also...
And I actually don't do that.
Really?
Yeah. Believe it or not, I don't have any SEO title or SEO description because, well, my thinking is, well, the title is the title tag. Google sees that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the best aftershave for men? That's already sort of an SEO title, right? You've got your keyword in there and it's descriptive. Google already sees that. The description, Google will just find the best sort of blurb from your existing article. So you don't have to do any of that for Google to already have that title and description there. You can, if you want to force Google to use your own SEO description. But I only do it for the homepage. I don't do it for the individual articles. So
cool. Yeah, and I also I probably need to go back through these articles and tweak and double check the on-page optimization. So make sure that my keyword is in at least one alt tag. Check the keyword density, because the plugin that I typically use just to give me a checklist of on-site or on-page stuff was incompatible with the theme. So I'll have to do this manually or find a new one, but just double check and make sure that I have a H2 tag with my keyword in it and that sort of stuff.
Cool. So yeah, no, it sounds good. I mean, you've obviously got a ton of content. You're doing really good. Maybe let's talk about next steps.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's go ahead and hand the screen back over to me. Okay, you should be able to see my screen now.
Yep.
Okay, so I have a couple of thoughts for assignments. One is we did really want to get the site up to 15 articles total before we start promoting too much. So it looks like you need about 5 more articles. Is that right? That's 10
Yeah.
up right now?
Yeah.
Okay, for a total of 15. So work on that. Then really the next step is going to be getting your site indexed in the search engines and maybe start getting some links pointing to that. And I also do want to point out that if we do a search for your site, a penny shaved, you are already indexed in Google.
Sweet.
Okay? And so for people listening out there, and correct me if I'm wrong, Perrin, but you didn't do a thing to get indexed in Google.
Did not.
Yep, you just put content on your little WordPress blog, and Google found it. You don't have a single link. You haven't gone and commented anywhere. So it sort of used to be this thing a few years ago where you had to actually do something for Google to find your site. The way WordPress works, they already have a sort of ping system built in. It just happens. Google finds you. So there you go. People listening, you don't have to do anything to get your site indexed in Google. But there's a lot more to being indexed. You want to be ranked. And so my thought is the next step is to start finding other blogs within your niche that you can target as potential places you can comment on their articles. And yes, that gets you some links to your site, but more importantly, hopefully you can start kind of find a core of blogs that you can get to know perhaps even the owners of and start to network a little bit. And the first way to do that, I think, is leaving some comments and getting to know those people. So I'm going to say find, let's say, at least 10 to 15 blogs in your niche. Okay? And this could be somewhat broad. I mean, I don't know if there's 15 blogs that all they talk about is shaving.
Yeah.
But it could be manly activities or something, or sometimes they talk about shaving, or something like that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And we can probably go in depth on another call, but just because I am new to that strategy, so short of typing in shaving blog in Google, are there any other strategies to find those?
Yes, there are some, but since you're only looking for 10 or 15, typing things like certain queries in Google, like even, WordPress plus, shaving, best razors.
Yeah, and WordPress because that tends to be
That tends to be a blog,
yeah.
that maybe you can leave a comment on, or you can type in things like leave a comment plus, shaving cream or whatever.
Yeah.
And there are certainly some other ways that you can do that, and I'm not sure I know the best way to do that. Maybe that'll be something that we both have to research.
Yeah, for sure.
To find a bunch of blogs in one particular niche. But basically, if you can go out and at least find 10 to 15 blogs, you don't necessarily have to go out and leave comments on these blogs, but I just want you to start compiling a list of potential places you could get links from, or network with the people, things like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty good for assignments. Really, unless you want to add something, my thought is that kind of do that, finish up the article, start getting a feel for the niche, And then next week we're going to start talking a lot about promotion and link building.
Yeah, no, yeah, that makes. I think that'll definitely be enough work. 5 articles is
Yeah,
uh, pretty pretty hefty, and then
it
the
is.
research will probably help with those. So they complement each other, and it's a good amount of work.
Yep. So we're keeping you busy, for sure. So hopefully you can handle it.
Yeah, big time.
Okay. So anything else you want to add or um, have questions about?
No, no, I think we're on a good track. I'm really eager to hear what everybody thinks of the site, and as always, like what everybody else is doing. It's the best part.
Definitely, yeah. I think this will be after this video. I think there'll be some great discussion because they can go look at your site
Yeah,
and give you some feedback based on that. I think most of the feedback will be positive. I'm confident on that. Site looks great. The articles are great, and so I think we're well on our way. We're starting to get to close to the promotion aspect, where hopefully you can actually start getting some live visitors
yeah.
and some data to look at. So it'll be fun.
So that would be awesome.
So. Very cool. Well, thanks again, Perrin, and everybody else out there listening. We look forward to the discussion, and hopefully everybody has a good evening.
Yep.
All right. Thanks a lot. We'll see you.
See ya.